welcome to the 7 p.m. class, everybody. Sorry for starting a minute late. Jake and I attempted to go morale hunting today, but I think in the area that we were looking at, I think it's just like a little too soon for the morels. So we brought back a bunch of pheasant back mushrooms, the ones that grow on tree and look like the back of a pheasant. And he's making stock right now with it, so I had to go try some, and it's so good. So get up on that mushroom game, because they are wild right now. But yeah, welcome to 7 p.m. yoga class. It's a reminder that with tonight's class that it is a slow flow class, so take your time in your asanas and take the time to just kind of explore what it is that your body needs. Just trying to make a little more room so we can see. Cool. Yeah, so take the time to just explore what your body needs. Maybe explore some of the asanas or some of our, here, let me reverse that. So like when we go slow, just to examine our anatomy as we go through the asanas, taking mental notes on what we can or that we can improve in, just taking that extra time possibly into future classes with. And so for today's class, we're going to need a blanket. You can bring 2 blocks. You could bring in a bolster or maybe a cushion. This week we were working with hamstring workouts, as well as in one of the night classes that I taught on Tuesday, we explored the Kundalini, the first version of a pose. And just because I mentioned the pose, if we wanted to, we can explore that pose tonight. But just know that when we go in through our flow, that this necessarily won't be our peak pose. It will be an option for a peak pose, just because it is a bit of a challenge. And if you're looking to be more restorative tonight, then you don't have to participate in it. But for the first version of the Kundalini pose, it is an arm balancing pose, and as well as a core and hamstring workout here, where we come onto our arms into a side crow, extending the bottom leg forward and the top leg towards the back of the room. There we go. Good. And it requires a lot of hamstring work, core work, and also making sure that we stay kind with our breath. So I will allow that for, if you have practiced with me on Tuesday night, to put that into your practice when it is available. And then if that's something that you would like to stay chill on, that's cool too. So for the beginning of class, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start at the top of the mat here. I've been trying to get us a little bit out of the air quote traditional elements of starting the yoga practice in a seated position. So you go ahead and come to the top of our mat here. We're going to come into a forward fold. We're going to go ahead and find straight legs and maybe have our legs just a little over hip length apart to start. Hands onto the shin, lengthening through the tailbone, bringing the tailbone back. Crown towards the front of the room, shoulders away from our ears, and allowing ourselves to breathe into our straight spine here. And as we go through our breaths, we can kind of navigate more of a hip hinge for our forward fold, so that we're not just like rounding a lot through the spine and putting a lot of stress into the low spine. And then if you're looking to hip hinge deeper and you're feeling that great roundness, you can bring a little bend to the knees and kind of sandwich your stomach onto your thighs here so that it's less work on the lower spine. And we're getting more work into our pelvic tilt, to our hamstring. Maybe also pressing your hands into the mat to help you with your forward fold or onto the blocks. Whatever feels the best for you. And just taking these deep breaths to help ground you here. We also have the option to just kind of collapse onto your elbows, guiding your chest towards the ground, the tailbone up towards the ceiling. You can also swing side to side, really just anything to help decompress from the lower spine. A little bit of relaxation here. You're welcome to set intention for your practice, whatever got you here onto the mat. Good. And then from here, inhale, find this halfway lift, and think of a cow spine. Bring the tailbone up and the chest up. And as you exhale, round through the spine, chin the chest if you like a cat. Good. Inhale into your cow spine. And then exhale, round to your cat spine. And go ahead, come to a few cat-cows here to your spine. But allow yourself to get nice and flowy in it. Don't feel like you have to be in complete alignment here and stay stiff. If you wanted to dance with your spine and with your legs, just to find some of that organic movement, you can go ahead and flow and do that here. And bend at the knees, hands straight onto the floor. Flip the palms up and inhale, rise into your high mountain. And then around through the shoulders, bend at the knees, hands to the ground. Inhale, scoop up, bend the knees up, rise into your high mountain. And then bend at the knees, round through the shoulders, hands to the ground. And go ahead and go through this nice, gentle flow of coming from your high mountain, rounding through the spine, coming towards the ground. And so we're going to focus on some stretches that will help stretch out more through the hamstrings and the core today, so we can give ourselves a little bit of a break from the arm balancing and the core engagements that we've done this week. And so allow yourself to flow nice and gentle here. 2 more rounds. And then once you have reached the second round, we're going to inhale, rise, bring the arms up towards the ceiling. And keeping our arms up towards the ceiling, we're going to go ahead, lift up through the spine and create a little back bend. Opening up through the chest, arms towards the back of the room. And then exhale, release. Palm to the heart center here. Yeah. And then as we find ourselves standing here, let's go ahead and navigate ourselves near some wall space. So we can stretch out through the shoulders, kind of bring some restoration from all of those arm balances here, opening up through the chest. So we're going to go ahead and face the wall And we're gonna extend our right arm to the wall here. And as we extend ourselves to the wall, we're gonna press our right hand in, shoulder to touch, and very gently start to walk away from the wall. Maybe our hip is touching the wall here. Taking the eye gaze forward, making it nice and gentle. Okay. 3 more breaths. And then we can very slowly release, bringing our left hand to the wall. Good shoulder length, rotate the shoulder back. And very gently, pressing your hand into the wall. Walk your way over towards the right side of the room. Left hip on the wall possibly. 5 breaths. And very slowly walk our way back towards the wall. We're going to open up our chest again, but this time it's going to be less strenuous onto the arm itself. We're going to have it nice and bent. And so I have my painting up here, so I'm just going to kind of use this example. But from here, we're going to take our elbow, and we're just going to have it just elevated a little more slightly up and towards the back of the room. Hands pointed onto the wall. And we're slowly going to twist our body forward here. Good. And you're going to feel it more into the actual shoulder behind our spine. Shoulders away from the ear, just for 5 breaths. And if you wanted to, you can also bring left ear to left shoulder to get more into the neck as we find this opening into our shoulder. And those 5 breaths, you can slowly release. Walk yourself to the wall. And then as we face the wall, we're going to have the left hand this time onto the wall. The elbow slightly elevated from the shoulder, a little towards the left side. We're going to very gently walk our torso to the right side. Possibly take in right ear to right shoulder. 5 breaths. After the 5 breaths, we're going to inhale, rise. Slowly walk towards the wall. Good. And then from here, we can go ahead and take our spine. I think it might be easier if I go this way. Oh. We're going to take our spine, have it near the wall over here. We're going to go ahead and have our shoulders onto the wall and the back of the hands as well. And we're going to, almost like we are doing snow angels here, we're going to want our shoulders and our knuckles of our hands and our spine to be pressed up against the wall. Tailbone 2 as we inhale. Kind of bring our arms up here towards the ceiling. And as soon as you feel where you have that reached limit, you can then exhale, release. Placing the hands by your sides, making sure that you have contact with both your shoulders and your fingers here, that it's not leaving the wall. Go ahead and do this a total of 5 times. This will help decrease bat winging in the back of your shoulders. And there's another way that you can do this as well. You can do it with straight arms. So we're doing it the 5 times with the straight arms. Go ahead, shake it out. And we can do it 5 times, and we can do it with our arms into cactus. And personally, I like doing this better when my lower half is on the floor and my legs are resting up on the wall. Okay. So you can either, have yourself straight onto the spine here, or if you wanted to, you could bring your seat to the floor with them extended up. We're just exploring these options here today. So find the cactus arm, fingertips, back of the hands, elbows. Very slowly. Inhale, bringing your fingers as if they're gonna touch. And as soon as you feel like, all right, like this is my limit, and go ahead, exhale, bring the elbows to touch your rib cage. Total 5. Inhale, fingers to touch. If they can't, that's fine. Exhale to the ribs. Total 5. And the reason why I prefer it better onto the floor is because I feel like it helps influence you to keep your spine straight, since that effort of your legs is helping ground your upper body. And then once you've done your 5, very slowly release. Good, swim your shoulders out if you need to. And then before we make our way back to the mat here, one more time on the wall space, let's try to open up through the chest and to lengthen more through our spine here. So we can go ahead, find some wall space here. Good. Where you can create a 90-degree with your legs straight, bring your tailbone back, pressing your arms up against the wall here to stretch out through your spine. Okay. Maybe find some of that quad engagement, actively bringing your tailbone towards the back of the room, hands pressing into the wall. Good. Tailbone back towards the room. Engagement of the glutes, engagement of the quads, helping you go into a little deeper hip hinge. Stay here for 10 reps. You'll notice that as you go through your exhales here, that your chest possibly may want to make its way more towards the ground. Might feel more opening into your shoulders. Once you reach your 10th breath, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Very slowly come into a wall plank. So essentially your arms are just straight. Bring your pelvic more forward. Engage it through the core. Just so that we can reset here. And then we're doing one more arm exercise before we make our way to the wall. Or to the floor here. And so essentially, if you have difficulties with your downward facing dog and it's more hinged on whether it be for arm support, shoulder support, lower spine support, or maybe you want to stretch out more to the hamstrings, I have vastly improved my downward facing dogs by doing this exercise. And then another one that we can get into where it opens up more through our shoulders and more through the chest here is as we come into that figure 7, maybe walking our forearms to the wall here. And bringing our tailbone back, lifting up through the chest though, and navigating our elbows up towards the ceiling and creating space in between the arms as well. And this is going to be a little bit more challenging here, but 10 breaths. Make sure that we keep that lift up through the chest, engagement of the back core, so we're not just bending at the spine, but we are supporting our bend. Maybe walking your way a little closer to the wall as well. Final breath, deep inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Very slowly rising up through the chest. Good. And then one by one, taking your hands down. Good. And you go ahead and shake. Let's swim out through the shoulders. Maybe bring your feet together and sliding one hand and breath it down your thigh for a very gentle side release. Just alternating side to side. Because after like deep openings such as that, you don't want to rush your body and just shake everything out. Because that'll kind of stress your body out a little bit. Just take your time to reset out of those. So let's go ahead and make our way back to the mat. All right, now we're feeling nice and open into the upper body. Some good ways to restore after those arm balances. So let's go ahead and make our way to the mat. Squats are going to be at the front of the mat. And then you can get your blanket prepared by bringing it towards the center of the mat and then taking it about an inch or two down for low lunge work here. Good. Let's go ahead and come to the front of the mat. Right leg forward, left leg back. Let's go ahead and come into a running lunge here. Square hips. Good. 90 degree with the right knee. Stretching out through the hamstring. 3 breaths. Hands are onto the blocks. Press the right foot down. Flex to the left foot, and then inhale. Half standing splits, left leg up to meet the right leg forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Send the right leg back. Come into that running lunge. Square through the hips. Total 3 breaths, stretching out through the hamstrings. Good. Press the left foot down. Standing split. Inhale, engage the right thigh. Inhale, right leg up. And then exhale, release for your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's go ahead and take the blocks off the mat for just a moment. Hands are onto the ground. Walking your feet back into plank. Downward facing dog. Rooting through the heels. We just did that spinal stretch on the wall, so I wanted us to kind of get a couple breaths in to focus on the legs before we go into another spinal opening. That's with each leg. Good. Why don't we go ahead and root through the right heel. And inhale, rise Left leg up towards the ceiling. So left leg is lifted up towards the ceiling. Let's go ahead, bend the knee and open up the hip crease. 5 breaths. Spreading the knees apart, keeping the torso squared. Good. Then we're going to go ahead and bring that left foot all the way to the opposite side, coming into a wild thing. Lifting up through the hips, taking the left arm behind you. And very gently inhale, lifted side plank, keep the left leg up. 3-legged dog. Inhale, bend the knee and place the left foot in between the palms. Good. As we do that, we can go ahead and drop the right knee, top of the right foot. Squaring through the hips. Let's bring the arms back. Engage the core. And inhale, rise, Shavasana. Arms are going to be up towards the ceiling. We're going to lift up through the navel. Keeping the lower body straight. Good. Maybe nice and deep into the front quad. While we place our palms together here, coming into an Anjaneyasana twist. Lift up through the chest and take the right elbow to the left thigh. Good. Taking the eye gaze over the left shoulder. 5 breaths. Keep finding this active lift in through the chest as we twist here. Good. We're going to keep this twist. From here, we're going to very gently place the right hand down. Lift the right foot. Take the left hand onto the right foot for a quad stretch, setting the right knee back just a little bit more. Good. Pressing the right foot onto the left hand, opening up more through the spine. Eye gaze over the left shoulder. Five breaths. After the 5 breaths, very slowly lower the right foot. Just move the right foot over an inch, point the toes out, clean on the outer edges of the right foot, right hand onto the left hand onto the left knee, pushing it away. And if I said right foot before, I meant the left. And just opening up through the left hip, eye gaze over the left hip, 5 breaths. Very slowly take the knee in. Good. Arms are straight here for lizard pose. You can either keep the bottom leg straight, lifted, arms to the ground. You can place your blocks and place your forearms onto the blocks or forearms onto the ground here. Sending your chest forward, elbows underneath your shoulders. Pressing your left foot into the mat, top of the right foot into the mat. 5 breaths. After the 5 breaths, you straighten up through the arms and walk the left toes to the right side of the room. Coming into pigeon legs here. So if you need to, you can place either a block or a cushion underneath the left hip if you can't make it towards the ground, and that's okay. Good. Having the shin parallel to the top of the mat and Of course, it's okay if it's not directly parallel. We're pressing the left hand onto the left thigh, right hand onto the left foot. Lifting up through the chest, squaring through the hips. 3 breaths. Externally rotating that right hip crease downward. It's okay, baby. And then you very gently come into a forward pigeon here. Coming onto your forearms. You can also just take your arms all the way forward as well. 5 breaths. The 5 breaths, you can go ahead, re-straighten through the arms, bend at the right knee, right foot is towards the back of the room, so coming into deer legs. In the deer legs, we're gonna slowly inhale, bring the right arm towards the ceiling, towards the back of the room. Inhale, swing the right arm up to the right thigh, and then look over the right shoulder in a twist. 3 breaths. After the 3 breaths, take your eye gaze forward. Good. Hands to the mat, straight through the right leg again. And through the right leg, go ahead, bring the left foot back up. Okay. And then inhale, rise. Right leg up towards the ceiling in a half split. So if you have your blocks, you use your blocks, or just press your hands into the floor. Good. Go ahead and bend at the knee with the right foot. Place the right foot to meet your left here. Good. Feet are going to be together if you wanted to. Yeah, feet are going to be together. We're going to bend at the knees, bring that tailbone back. Good. So we find our footing here, engage through the core, and inhale, rise, arms towards the ceiling, into chair. Palms are going to be together. And then we're going to inhale, twist, back over to the left side. Coming deeper to our chair squat. Placing the hands onto the ground. You're more than welcome to come into side crow. And you're also more than welcome to come into Kondinyasana 1. Return the legs. Gently bring the feet back to the ground. Walk your hands in front of your hands. Go back into that bent forward fold. Welcome the feet back. Downward facing dog. 1 heel at a time. This time, we're going to root through the left heel. Point the right leg back. Come into 3-legged dog. Good. We're going to go ahead, bend at the knee, and then open up the hip crease. 5 breaths, each breath. See if you can spread your knees further apart. And we're going to go ahead and bring the right leg all the way over to the left side. Lift it to the hips. And bring the right arm back into our wild thing. Right arm up, side plank, lift up the right leg, come back into 3-legged dog. Then from our 3-legged dog, bend the right knee in and flow forward here. Coming on to the top of our left foot, left knee on the left foot here. Anjaneyasana. Bring the arms back, engage the core. And then inhale, rise. Arms up towards the ceiling, lifting up through the chest. 3 breaths. Good. And we're going to place our palms together. Inhale, twist to the right side. 5 breaths. Keep finding that length through the chest here as we twist. Pressing the top of the left foot to the ground, bottom of the right. After the 5 breaths, you can then very slowly bring the left hand down, right hand onto the right knee. Scoot the right foot just about 1 inch away. Bring the toes towards the corner of the mat. Come on to the outer edge. Inhale, open up that hip for 5 breaths. I'm going to go ahead, send that knee back in. We get to lizard pose, and you can go through any modification of your lizard pose that you need for 5 breaths. You can go ahead as a 5 breaths, straighten up through the arms and walk your right toes towards the right side of the room. Coming down onto that right hip. Straighten the left leg back if it's not already straightened. Good. Finding the squaring through the hips, so if you need to place a cushion underneath your right hip, go ahead and do so. You place the right hand onto the right thigh. Sorry, I just want to align myself here. Good. Left hand onto the right ankle. We're going to internally rotate the left hip in, making sure that we're nice and square onto our hips. So create space if you need to for 3 breaths. Then the next breath, we're going to go ahead and walk our arms forward, coming into a forward pigeon, whether you are on your forearms or your arms are straight. Lengthening through the spine. 5 breaths. Using a block as a pillow if needed. And then after those 5 breaths, very slowly coming out of your forward pigeon. Curl through the left toes. Very, very gently walk the right leg back. Go ahead, shake if needed. Take the left, you should have the right leg forward. With the right leg forward, pressing the right foot into the ground, come into half splits with your left leg up towards the ceiling. A couple breaths.
Going through the hips. And then bringing the right leg down. Good. Forward fold here. In the forward fold. And go ahead. Bring the tailbone back. Arms are lifted. Inhale into chair. 5 breaths. Then we're going to bring the palms together. Inhale, twist over to the right side again for 3 breaths. And coming a little deeper here into the squat, placing the right and left hands down. You're welcome to come to side crow if you wish. You're also welcome to come into Konasana. 1, extending the right leg to the left leg towards the back of the room. 3 breaths. And you can very swiftly come out of it after your 3 breaths. Good. Coming back into the center of your mat. Good. Seat onto the mat here. Good. Making our way near the end of class today. Let's go ahead. Once you wipe our feet side to side, take a drink of your beverage if you have it. Your water out. Good. And from here, we're going to go ahead and sandwich or lift up through the spine and sandwich our stomach onto the thighs here, grabbing onto the toes and walking our feet forward here so that we can assist ourselves better at a hip hinge in our Paschimottanasana. Good. So if you feel like you're starting to have an intense rounding through the spine, you go ahead and stay wherever your bent knees are. And stay for 5 breaths, assisting your spine, bringing your chest forward and lifting it up. Then you can go ahead, for 5 breaths, walk your feet back. Slide the left ankle underneath so that the foot is right by your hip. And then you're going to have the right leg stack here. Coming into Gomukhasana legs. And so if you have a gradual space between your knees as they're stacked, you're more than welcome to take a blanket and you can fill in that space. Good. So if you need to, go ahead. I personally like to have in my Gomukhasana blanket right underneath my tailbone. I feel like it helps me keep my spine straight. So then you can go ahead as your legs are crossed. You can take your right hand to the mat. Inhale, rise, left arm towards the ceiling. And start to side body stretch over towards the right side of the room. 5 breaths. Gaze up and come up through the ribs. And after the 5 breaths, inhale, rise, both arms towards the ceiling, and then take the left hand down. Inhale, right arm towards the left side of the room. 5 breaths. And after the 5 breaths, inhale, rise, arms up towards the ceiling, and you're going to exhale, hip hinge, forward fold, hands onto the mat, forearms onto the mat. 5 breaths. Squeeze up the thighs. After the 5 breaths, slowly rise. And release the legs, windshield wipe if you need to. And we're going to go ahead and this time we're going to send the right leg underneath so that the left leg is on top. Go ahead and prop up if you need to here, whether blanket in, on your seat, whatever you need here, finding that straight spine. We're going to rise our arms up towards the ceiling, keeping the left arm up, right arm down. Inhale, side bend, over to the right side, keeping the chest open, arm towards the back of the room. For your 5 breaths. And for the 5 breaths, inhale, rise, both arms towards the ceiling, lowering the left arm. Inhale, right arm towards the left side of the room. For your 5 breaths. And I'm going to inhale, rise, both arms towards the ceiling, and then we're going to exhale, hip hinge, forward fold. Hands out to the mats, tailbone back. And then for your 5 breaths, very slowly rise. Okay, go ahead and release the legs from here. We're going to find our way onto the mat. Good. Getting us prepared for our Shavasana. Good. So grabbing onto the outer edges of your feet. Roll onto your spine into happy baby. Good. Spreading your heels apart, tailbone towards the ground. Knees towards your armpits. Hips towards the ground. You can find stillness, or if you go ahead and rock side to side here. And pressing the feet together. Spreading your knees apart into a butterfly pose. 5 breaths. Then we're going to go ahead and bring the knees in. And from here, inhale, rise, bring your arms above the ceiling and bring your toes to the front of the room, preparing for your Shavasana. Taking a deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Place your hands wherever is comfortable for the next few moments. And so as we lie here in our Shavasana, I picked a quote for today's practice by Maya Angelou. That you may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, and how you can still come out of it. So you're more than welcome to stay here in your Shavasana, but if you would like to carry on for the rest of your night, you go ahead and begin to find some micro movements from your toes, your ankles, your fingers, your wrists, and allow yourself to reawaken. Very gently inhaling, bringing your arms above your head and your knees in towards your chest. Deep inhale through the nose. As we exhale through the mouth, guiding our knees to the left or the right side, and very softly assisting ourselves to a comfy seated position. You can go ahead and meet your palms into the heart center. You can take a bow for yourself, giving yourself the gratitude for making it to tonight's class, being able to share this virtual space with our climbing neighbors and friends that we miss so dearly. And I wish peace and hope for the rest of your night. And namaste. Thank you so much for attending the 7 p.m. yoga class, the slow flow tonight. I hope you enjoyed what we worked with today and hopefully found some relief for your spine and for your hips and legs tonight. We will be continuing the online series for the rest of the week and for the time being. So with that, I can't wait to see you all on Tuesday, and I hope that you have a good rest of your night. I'm gonna go eat some yummy mushroom soup from the mushrooms we collected today. Have a good night, you guys. See you later.